Hi there, everyone. My name is Melanie Lowe. I work for the Wix Higher Education team, and today I am conducting this instructional video to show you how to build your FM-109 website project using Wix.com. So in terms of our agenda for this 1 hour together, I'm going to walk you through the requirements and responsibilities for the FM-109 final project. Basically, what pages do you need to create? What are you going to be expected to showcase on those pages? How should you be presenting your research from the course using the website medium, right? Then we're going to go full on into the platform. I will show you how to get signed up for Wix, how to get started with a template, and then I will demonstrate how to build out core features of your final project website using Wix. The emphasis will be on giving you enough demonstration and tools to get started with your project websites, and then to fully build out those project websites to showcase, again, your research and accomplishments from the course on the website format, right? And so first things first, though, I do want to make you aware of this really cool opportunity for you guys because you are in this class, you're working with Wix. We want to make one of our professional certification opportunities available to you. So this is the Wix Foundation certification. What it does is it validates your digital skills and your hands-on professional web design experience, right? This is an industry accredited certification. So that means it's something that really does stand out to employers, hiring managers, and basically it validates and verifies these hands-on skills that you have in terms of website creation. So to earn your certification, pretty simple. All you have to do is watch this instructional video. So you're here, you've already gotten to step one, awesome job. And then I invite you to submit your published FM-109 website project to me via email. My email is listed here, okay? And then you get certified. So this is an amazing accomplishment to showcase on your LinkedIn, to put on your resume, to just let people know, hey, not only have I completed all of this great research and this amazing project, but I also have these very marketable, very in-demand digital skills. So again, encourage you all to submit for this. You can email me to ask me questions about the process at any point, okay? All right, and now on to our website requirements. So for your FM-109 final project, your website needs to contain the following things. It needs to have a homepage with at least 4 sections. The sections terminology will make sense when I get into the demonstration. But basically, this needs to contain a project overview, an explanation of the company or the brand that you're working with, the products you're tracing. You need to display annual sales data for the past 3 years. And then you also need sections that provide further explanation or interactive elements like galleries and slideshows. The homepage is also where you can have fun with design and with all the features that Wix has to offer. I will show you how to build this out fully. So that's where you're going to get the most kind of like design experience under your belt here. You then need a research page that contains your line sheet assignments. So those are from assignments 3 and 4. A traceability in supply chain page, and then a references page. So I will be showing you how to get all of your media, your PDFs, your Excel spreadsheets into Wix, how to add in pages, et cetera, right? So don't worry, you're going to be given all of the tools you need to basically execute on this website brief, right? And I think it helps to look at an example really quickly. So this is from students who previously completed this very assignment. Let's take a click and just take a quick tour of what they accomplished, right? Really nice right off the bat. They have a nice little kind of animation, like a movement effect. I'll show you how to do this with text boxes. It's a really kind of nice interaction for folks. Great images. So you're going to source, images from your chosen brand and think about how you can make the look and feel of your website mirror the brand and the products you've been researching, right? So this company, J. Crew, has a very clear, solid brand identity. You can lean on that to give yourself some ideas about how to design your site, like the colors, the fonts, you get the idea. So just looks great. I love it from Go. Nice little section here with some images, sweaters, of course, J. Crew's staple, more great brand imagery. And then we have our requirements, right? So we've got some annual sales data displayed here. Nice way, simple way of doing this. I love it. We have a nice little blurb. Again, giving us a sense of the project, the brand, what we're doing here, right? Love this project overview. This project includes an introduction to the brand, sales data, and et cetera, et cetera. So again, this website exists to present your research in an accessible way to people. So think about how you're doing that at every turn through your blurbs, right? Through the way you position your research, through the imagery you're using. You want this to be something that people can easily engage with. That's the whole point of a website. Then we come up to the top. We take a look here at the research page. Oh, very nice. And so they've put this together in a very organized way. So we have, dresses, tops, and then we can click to look at the full PDF. Great way to, again, have surface and depth in terms of displaying your research. So you can have this sort of short little, here's what this is, and then people can click through the PDF file to go more in depth, right? Very nice there. Same thing here with women's tops, men's bottoms, etc. And then if we go to traceability, also very nice way to do this, a good blurb at the top that explains what this page is about, what is the research here, think through how to talk about your findings, again, in an accessible way for a general audience. You want to showcase your expertise, right? Because now that you've done all this research, you are an expert, but, think again about how to summarize and how to create, skim, like text that engages, but is also skimmable. Like there's a fine balance here, but that's what we're looking to do. And then we just put our traceability sheets here, and then they have their references page. Looks great. A great example. So again, I'll make sure you guys have this slide deck at the conclusion. There's a couple more examples in here, but that gives you, again, a sense of how these students have taken the brief here and have gone through and been thoughtful about how to present all of this research, okay? All right, well, let's get to the fun part. Because again, I don't want to keep us more than an hour in terms of our video. Most people can't listen for any longer than that. So let's get to it and get into Wix.com, okay? So here we go. Website builder. So you just go to Wix.com. You'll see this page here. We want to click Get Started. And now we need to sign up. If you already have a Wix.com account, you can probably easily log in by doing like your Google credentials or whatever. I am going to illustrate the sign up process for anybody that hasn't worked with Wix in the past. So here we go. We just enter our email. Oh, I never spell right. It's really low. And then password. And then we click sign up. You don't have to, really, I've already used that one. Lucky me. All right, let's go back here. So like I was saying, you do not have to use your school email. You can if you want. I just always recommend that, if you want your Wix account to, continue with you, use the email you would use to sign up for like LinkedIn or apply for a job, that sort of thing. By means not necessary for you to use your school email. Okay. There we go. Okay, now Wix is going to want to ask us a bunch of questions. We're going to skip all of this, you guys. So you'll see way down here in the corner is your skip button. So we just click skip. Same thing here with the AI that wants to help us. We just say set up without chat. Again, way down here in this corner, we click skip. And this is where we want to get to. We want to get to our site dashboard. So it's going to open it up. Here we are. I'm going to exit out of this. Again, it's just more of a funnel. If we had like a business or something, we could go ahead and add in all these details, but let's just click exit. And now we want to come up to the top here and select design site. Go away, friends, sorry. Here we go, design site, click. And now we pick a template. So really now from here, the sky is the limit. Wix has thousands of templates for pretty much any type of website that you can think of. Go ahead and explore them. Get a sense of what you like, what you don't design-wise. I would make a recommendation, though, that you work with a more minimal template. So for that, I'm going to recommend that we come over here to business and services and we select the one-page templates. Amazing. So these are all landing page templates, basically. And why this is useful for us is it basically allows us to fully build out and customize our final project website. So we'll be able to add in all of the pages that we want, all of the features that we want, and we won't have anything extra, right? So again, if you find a template that you really enjoy and want to work with more, that's cool. But I really strongly recommend that you work with one of these minimal templates so that you're able to have the full customization available to you. So I was in here playing around. You know, you can preview any template by clicking view. And that lets you then get in here. You can kind of click around, see how it's set up. This is a nice one with, you know, projects. So fun, kind of a nice, you know, option for us. Scrolls easily. I'm going to go back to templates. There was one I was looking at earlier that I kind of liked. This one, this coming soon landing page. So again, very minimal, gives me all the space that I want to begin creating myself. So I'm going to go ahead and click edit this site. Okay, now the Wix editor is going to open up. We are going to take just a quick tour of the functionality so you know where everything is, how to begin adding in pages, features, etc. to your site, and then we'll start building. So again, the focus of this demonstration is going to be on how to add in your required pages, how to build out your home page, and then one example of how to showcase your research. And then that will give you enough tools at your disposal so that you can decide the ways in which you want to design your site to present your research in the most effective way. Okay. First, though, Wix has a lot of interesting AI helpers built into it. I can show you some as we get going, but for now, we're just going to click exit. All right, now let's get oriented. Left-hand side over here, you guys, this is your command center. Everything you are going to add to your website lives over here. Add elements are all of the individual bits and pieces that make the website what it is. This is where you're going to find your text boxes, places to add images, buttons, more advanced features like galleries, video and music, if that's something that you want to employ, and just lots of good design features throughout here. Sections are how we build out the structure of an individual page. We're going to be spending a lot of time here in a minute because this is how we're going to build out our homepage for our project. Okay. Next up, pages and menu. This is how we add pages to the site or subtract them. So we're going to be starting here in just a minute. Site design allows us to customize the look and feel of our site. So we're going to build for a bit, and then I'll show you how you can come in here and really customize the color palette, the fonts, the whole look and feel of your website. Then finally, I don't anticipate us needing to work with these too extensively, but the Wix app market is really great if you're looking for a kind of specific design feature or way to present your content and you just can't, find it. You can usually search for it in here, and we have some sort of widget or app that will work. It's also how, if you were turning your site into some sort of like business per se, you would add your apps from here. Again, not a use case for us with this research project, but an interesting one. The one exception, of course, might be if you want to add a blog to your final project site as one way to showcase your content. So maybe towards the end, if we have a minute, I'll show you that. And that's pretty much it. The rest in here, the business manager, our CMS, upload your media, all that sort of thing. So let's exit out. And I want us to get started by adding in our pages. So let's remind ourselves real quick. We're going to toggle back to our assignment. Requirements, how many pages do we need? Homepage, research page, traceability and supply chain page. I should bold that. I'm going to do it now. And references. All right, so let's come up here. How do we do this? 4 pages. You're going to be shocked at how simple this is. So we've got our home page here, right? We'll build this out here in a minute. We go to add page. And now basically I can choose from all of this different templated content for pages to showcase my research. So you see we have a services page. It's kind of taking a while to load. Looks good. Projects, very visually driven. So if you wanted to have kind of a way to present your research in a much more visual way, this is very nice. General is really good. It gives us a nice blend of text and images, lets us inject some interest into the page, etc. You get the idea. So I really liked this page, and I wanted to use that for one of my research pages. I'm going to add it. Now I just need to rename it. So this is going to be I cannot remember any of these names, my research page. So I come here. I click on this little blue ... button. I select rename. I'm going to call it research. Done. Same thing. We need our traceability page. So I could use a general page here. I could go back to one of those other templates. Let's just say I want a blank page. And then I'll decide how I want to build that out. Traceability. Done. And now I want my research page. I think I'll do another blank for that. It'll be a lot of text. Excuse me, my references page. We already have research. Lovely. If you think you need more, or if you want to break it up in a different way, you can, but that's how easy it is to add pages. If you wanted to reorder your pages or change, again, like create a subpage, etc. So if I wanted to move research, I just drag and drop, right? Very easy, drag and drop. If you want to turn any page into a subpage, like let's say, well, I don't really want references in here. Maybe I want it to be, nested under home or something. I just pull it over like that. And there we go. You'll note that when I did that, my menu auto updated as well. I will say an interesting feature of this menu is that it's reading right to left as opposed to left to right. So I suppose I could come in here and kind of figure out why it's doing that, go to manage menu, navigate, go to settings. So I just kind of have to sometimes play around to figure out why it's doing something. And if I didn't like this menu, I could just delete it. Come over here to my Add Elements panel. Scroll, menu and anchor. And now I can just drag and drop a menu that I prefer over to my area here. Maybe I want it to be on this side too. Let me just put it here then. That looks good. All right. So now we have a menu that we like, looking good. We've added in the pages that we need. So now let's head back to our home page. And now we're going to build out our home page for our project using sections. Okay. So to do this, first things first, I'm just going to kind of play around a little bit. Like for instance, this box here, like maybe I don't want that in my header, so I'm going to delete it. Now I can drag my menu over a little more. That looks good. All right. And now this big section came with my template. I'm just going to delete it. And now you all get the exciting experience of basically building a Wix website from blank. And you're going to see just how easy that is. So let's think through. We need, some sort of intro section, something that, grabs the attention, is visually compelling, all those good things. We need an introduction of the brand, a project overview, our sales data, and then we can have some more fun. Okay, so I'm going to click. I could either start from design section here, or I could come over to my left-hand panel. All right. And now I have all of these sections at my disposal. I'm going to pick a nice big one to introduce people to my project. Then I'm going to add a section here. So I need some sort of like brand overview. And so what we want then is a section that, gives me an image, but also allows me to pair text with it, right? Like a short blurb. So I see a couple of nice options here. Something like this welcome with an image behind it would look really good. But then we can scroll through and we can just kind of see what's at our disposal here. So here's a nice blurb one. You can look at the promotion, services, all sorts of fun things here. But I kind of like this about. So I'm going to take this, drop it here. Lovely. And then let's keep going. We want to add section. Again, something with, a nice way to display research, to add visual interest, but also to offer things. This will be my project overview section. So let me just come in here and customize some text. You noticed when I double clicked on this text box, a couple of things appeared. We have our floating menu. Every element in Wix has a floating menu, which means that every element in Wix can be customized. So for text, that means you can, do all the things with it that you would do with any text box. I think that this functionality is familiar in terms of, if you work in Canva, if you work in other types of cloud-based creation platforms. So just say project overview here. Again, I'll do the same up here. Something like this will be our brand overview. And you can, kind of mix and match them if you want. If you want your project overview to come first, that's fine. But we just want to make sure we get them on the page. So a short history of the brand. Something like that, or the brand in 60 seconds, or you get the idea. Have fun with it. Have fun with your text, like make it engaging, get people to connect with you on it. My project overview, then, maybe I don't need a button here necessarily, but I would like to have some text here. So I'm going to delete this, maybe move my box up a little bit, come over to my add elements. There we go. We're really cooking now. come over here, and I don't need a title here, but I do need some type of paragraph, right? So I'll go with, which, whichever one you like. And we'll drag it and drop. This box is also kind of big, so if I want to like change some sizing on some things, I can just do this. And now this is here. Drop it in. And now I have some nice containers where I can now drag and drop my content. That's the whole idea here, you guys, is we're basically creating sections and structures that then allow us to port our project content into the relevant areas of the site, okay? And so then, we could do another section for annual sales data, or we could put it here in this section. We could break up, it's kind of the same where it's like these cubes and things. We could break up our section here, using something like a gallery or some other visual things. I like to show this tool just because it is quite fun. It's an interesting use of AI within Wix, the AI section generator. So we're going to click here. And now it's going to, come up with a prompt box like all AI, how that works. Section type, what are we doing here? We could make it a lot of different things, but I'll stick with about, I guess. And now I'm going to tell it what I need. And so basically we just have to prompt it by giving it enough detail that it can then build something for us. So I'm going to say, I need a section that displays financial research from this project. I want a section that allows me to display annual sales data in a chart, and then lets me fill in a short blurb explaining the data to my site visitor. And now we're going to see what it generates for us. Oh, interesting. So you see, it created some different layouts for us. That's why this is nice, because it allows you to kind of see how the AI interprets, what you're trying to do, and then it will try to make something that allows you to display your research in engaging ways. So the other big thing is it just breaks up the visual structure of the page so that it's a little more eye-catching for a site visitor. So just some basic web design stuff in there. But I kind of like this one. So I'm going to take it and drag and drop it and put it right here. And now is where we see how it did in terms of taking our prompt. Here, it could have done a little better job, but with AI, you always have to come in and check your work. So we'll title this annual sales data. You would add in a short blurb, etc. You don't want the social bar here, probably not. So let's just delete that. But then you would go ahead and, again, explain why this data is important. Your button could maybe connect to more in-depth charts or research, and then we can put our chart here. Speaking of, let's zoom out for a second. We've built our homepage. We've got to fill in some blanks, but we have the architecture. So that's what we've done, is we've gone in, we've built out the full architecture of the homepage. Now, basically, we need to come in and fill in the blanks, right? Fill it in with our specific project information. Okay, so let's start doing that. First things first, what's the project about, right? So for me today, I'm looking at Express. That's just the company I picked to do my research project on. So, we can come here and do something like Express Inc. or whatever your, company is. Express and sustainability or something like that. You get the idea. you guys are all getting a sense of what a terrible speller I am, particularly when I'm moving kind of fast. So we have our, title, our company. Maybe we just want the company name, right? So we can do that. Make it bigger using our little text box here. That's good. And then you remember in the example I showed you, they added like a fade in animation. So to do that, you come up here to your floating menu and you select animation and effects. And now you're going to have all these different options to choose from to add movement to this element. So you can do a fade. That's what they used for J. Crew. Shutters. This is a newer one, which I've really been enjoying. Some that are kind of a little more interesting, I guess is the polite word to use. So again, you want this type of thing to be unobtrusive. You don't want it to kind of be too much for people. So, you could give it a scroll effect, which means that something happens to it when people move away. Let's just do an entrance and we'll do the fade one, but then you can pick if you want this for your site, right? And so there we go. Let's now talk about images, okay? So when you're working with this template, you basically need to ensure that anywhere that there is a stock element, whether that is a blurb, so one of these, sort of filler blurbs from Wix, or one of these sort of stock images, etc., you need to customize that with your own content from your project, okay? So I'm going to show you how to do that here in just a second. So let's come in here. We need to change this weird Dunescape background. So I'm going to change it. I want it to be an image. And now this is a great opportunity for me to upload all of my files from my project into my media manager in Wix. So if all of my stuff lives in Google Drive, I can connect to my Google Drive this way. I can also draw from other platforms. I'm just going to upload from my computer. Let's see how organized or disorganized I am today. So we scroll down. Let's see here. We've got my line sheet stuff. So, I have individual images. I also have another folder here with all of my final project media. So we come in here and I'll just upload all of it. JPEGs, you guys, PNGs, MP4s, PDFs, like the format, the sky is the limit in Wix. If you have questions about what works and what doesn't, I can provide you with that info. But yeah, your spreadsheets, your PDFs, your files, your images, your videos, all of it can go in here. And then you can basically have this media library to draw from for creating your website. So I need to go back up to my other folder. You're seeing how disorganized I am, but that's okay. Sometimes all of our stuff lives in different places, so we have to be attentive. So I'm just going to make sure that I get all of my imagery I want to use in here. Lots of good stuff. All right. And I think that is good. Now I'm going to get everything in here. It'll take it a minute, but that's okay. Okay. And now, basically, I'm going to go about, like I said, porting my project content into these filler spaces on my website. So let's come in here. And, I've got all of this great imagery, maybe that I want to use for my background. So I can try this. Oh, that looks kind of good. I like that. I can make my section bigger if I want. So that's great. Another option for you guys, if you have images, you have your project content, but maybe you feel like you're a little light on content visually, you can lean on media from Wix. So let's come in here. We can use it for another little area of our site, actually. So I'm going to change this background and we'll come to image. Media from Wix is our in-house visual library. It contains photos, illustrations, patterns, videos, all manner of visual material that you can lean on to build out the visual components of your website. These images are not bound by copyright and they do not live behind a paywall. They exist in Wix for you to use fully at your disposal. So I think that's pretty cool. Let's get in here. We'll kind of search for something, just any term. We'll do fashion and we'll just see what it gives us. And then you see there's all sorts of interesting, fun things here that we can choose from. So you can scroll. Again, you can lean on images that reflect your brand. Kind of think through, oh, that's fun. I like that. Think through how to make the design of your website kind of rooted in the design of the brand that you're tracing in this project. It's a fun way to do it. So doesn't that look nice? Also, video is available to you as well. That can be a fun way to add some movement, some interaction, some cool things to your site there. Excellent. Well, look at that. We've got some nice images. We've got all of our media uploaded into our media manager. So now it's just a matter of really getting in here and building it out, building the research out as well. So again, like I've shown you, this is where you add your blurbs, making sure that you're replacing the templated content with your own content and research, etc. Couple of things to show: buttons. So you notice there's lots of buttons throughout Wix. You want to use your buttons strategically to lead to specific places on your website. So one question to ask is, do you need a button here? One thing you could do is you could link it to some sort of PDF that's a fuller version of the project. You could also have it go to a specific page on the website. And I'll show you how to do that here. So we click on our settings with this button. Now you have to create some sort of, call to action, like the button needs to say something that makes people do something. That's the key here. So, you could say, view my research, see full project, you get the idea, right? And so now you can either link this to a page on your site. So you have all these different pages here. You can go to the research page. We could also link to an external web address, a document. So say you had like a PDF file, a brand book, what have you, get the idea, right? And you wanted to link to that, you could put it right here. So that's how the buttons should function. Oh, and I didn't link it to anything. That was silly. Here we go. Done. And we're good. You can also design your button. Like if you felt the font was too small, click on this paintbrush. That's your design button for any element in Wix. And then you can come here to customize. And like I said, sky's the limit. You could spend hours designing this button if you felt like it, doing all sorts of customization to it, all sorts of fun things. I'm going to make the font just a little bit bigger. And then I'm going to adjust the button size. And there we are. Excellent. Okay, everybody. We've done a lot of building, but let's say you've built it out to this extent, and now you're like, I like the site, but I don't really like the look of it, right? I don't like the kind of, design palette that the template came with. You can change that. Let's come over to our command center and click on site design. Amazing. Here we are. So now, if you're very design oriented, like about hex codes or RGBs, you have very specific types of design assets you want to work with, you can upload them all in here to have a very customized design experience, right? The other option for you is to come and change your site theme. So we come here and we click. And this is the site theme. So basically the typography and the color palette that the designers created for this template. We can then change that by clicking on these featured themes. And as you see, immediately it changes. So this is a good way to play around with this, kind of see what it offers you. That was pretty dramatic, right? But again, you can also see what, these featured themes kind of reflect the brand identity of what you're working with. Maybe you know, just want something fun that expresses you and, you know, who you are. But this is where, again, you can have fun with it. You can play around and really make the site reflect you. I did not dislike fashionable, actually. That's nice. I like that. Excellent. So then I click back in. A couple of other things maybe that I just want to attend to. I've got this thing up in the header here, this strip. I'm just going to delete it because I don't need it. So that looks fine to me. Couple other things you might want to add to the homepage design-wise. I think I mentioned galleries, a great way to add visual interest. So we can go to add section. Now, galleries are an element. So we're going to click here. And now we can come to this little area and add in some galleries, lots of different formats, lots of different fun ways to visually showcase your content, grids, sliders. This is kind of fun. I like the spheres. I think it's interesting. So I'm going to attach it here. And then I want to come up to my floating menu. Before I add in images, I want to make this element full width. So let me stretch it. Stretch to full width. This way I ensure that this element goes all the way across the page and it's not squashed in the middle. Maybe too, I want to change this background color to something interesting. So I'll click change, go to color. And now I can, you know, pick, maybe I want some more color on my site. That's kind of nice. I like that. Excellent. And now to add my images, I make sure that I'm clicked on my slider gallery. I select change images. So I'm going to delete all of the images that are here. So we just go ahead, remove. Very good. And now I need to add images. And I'm going to add them from my site files. So I'm going to do a lot. So I'm just going to command select and get them all in here. And one of these fun ones too. That looks good. Add to gallery. And then I can reorder them by just, like we do, drag, drop. Very nice. Drag and drop. Very good. I click done. Immediately very engaging, like a very interesting way to add compelling visual elements. Okay. All right, now you guys, you know, we've gone through a lot in terms of how to build out a page. You just kind of need to apply this now to the other elements of your site. So for instance, how are we going to showcase our research? So let's go to our research page and see what we've got here. And if we remind ourselves, we have a research page that needs to showcase our line sheets from assignments 3 and 4. And, you know, we could also use our JCrew friends as an example. Let's pull that up and see what they did. But hopefully I've also shown you just like lots of different ways to put content on the site so you can be creative with it. So again, we can come here. Let's say that we want this to showcase, oh, I don't know. We'll first retitle this. So this is line sheets. And remember, you want to contextualize this. Why does this matter? What is this page teaching me? What am I trying to teach a site visitor? What is, you know, again, the summary here of what we should take away from this. So we come in here and we can use these little boxes. If you don't like this, you can also always delete and then build out the structure of your page using your sections, right? So, you know, for instance, I could come here, I could change this image. Let me just remind myself, okay, so they did dresses and then they had the link to the PDF. What does that look like? Looks pretty nice. I like that. So you can do something like this, right? So we'll change this title to denim. If you had a blurb, you could put it here if you felt like you needed one. We'll update the image. Let's change it to something from our, yeah, we got lots of good stuff in our site files here. Choose that. Then you just kind of repeat for the rest of your line sheet assignments, right? And decide, like, do you want to have a PDF to your line sheet assignment? You can, and you can link to it in lots of different ways. You could make the image linked to the actual line sheet, or you could come here, delete this text. Let's actually just delete that text box too. Good. And then we'd add a button. There we go. But again, think through how for you want it to look. Lots of different ways to present the research. Your examples will show that. But here we'll kind of just do it this way. Denim. Download PDF, right? Then we got to link it to something. So we come here, document. And here we have one of our line sheets waiting. Oh, interesting. So this is a screenshot, you guys, but it's telling me, and this is true, only documents or zip can be chosen. So what you want to make sure of, I won't do this now, but you can learn from my mistake, is make sure that your line sheets are uploaded as PDFs, okay? And then you can link it to the button that way, right? So just something to keep in mind there. We all learn as we go, which is good. So there we go, but that gives you one idea for how to like structure the research presentation here. And again, just making it your own, customizing, adding visual interest. I'm going to come in here. I had a nice image, I thought, from my site files for this. Yeah, I like this one. It's good. Make it a little bigger, maybe. Something like that. There we go. And then, of course, kind of the same thing. What do we need to do to get our traceability? You would, again, make sure that you had that item and that, the tier 2 through tier 0. You can do it, we saw from our example, as the image on the page, which looks really good. You could do blurbs and then link to the PDF. Lots of different options, you guys. What I'm hoping, again, is that with our time together, I've shown you enough within Wix that you can now make this your own, right? And you can really get in here, you can customize it, you'll add in your pages, and then you'll be able to really make this your own. Quick note for your references page, you guys, that's something where I think all you'll probably need is a text box. So you want to come in here, let's, or you could design it out a little bit if you want to. So we'll do a design section just to introduce it. So let's do something like references. And remember, they need to be in APA format. It can just be your bibliography, you guys. So let's add a section here. And so let me see my design sections. I think I have quite a few. I have some text ones. Yeah, that would probably work. I could do something like this. Keep it simple. So I'll just put this one here. And then we've got our text box here. You can just copy and paste your bibliography, right? Your references page right in here. Don't forget, as a in APA format, right? But that's pretty simple. That's just working with text and formatting it at that point to make it accessible. Excellent, you guys. So, we're right at 50 minutes, and I know that that's when my attention span starts to fade as well. But look at what we did in this short amount of time. Like, what a foundation we've laid. And it's something, it looks very interesting and very good. What then is really going to bring this to life, you guys, is you getting your research in here, your words, the discoveries you've made, the work you've done over the course of a semester, and you showcase it here. And it's a project that shows a lot of different levels of skill, both, in terms of academic research and, getting into the history of a brand, doing your line sheets, your traceability, all those good things, but then figuring out how to communicate that research in this medium of the website, right? So I'm just really excited to see what you all make. And like I said at the beginning, please, 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 when you are finished with your websites, consider submitting them for certification. Really minimal requirements. If you've made it to the end of this video, look at that. You've already checked the first box, right? So again, once you complete your project, please do submit it to me at my email that's listed here. I'll make sure that you guys have this slide deck as well with the examples, with everything. And all I can do is wish you happy site building. I hope the rest of your semester goes great. Thank you so much. And please feel free to get in touch if you need support at any point during your website creation journey. Thank you, you guys.